I'm very confused. So much so that I wanted to make a bigger review on this show alone instead of the quick 5-minute review videos I make. Okay, so let's break this down. My experience watching it. When I first started watching this show, this was the plot I went into thinking of. So like it's about these two childhood best friends, Cake and Sia, that get separated once Cake goes to America. When comes back, Sia was different and then his mom gets sick, which complicates things more. Okay, cool. But then episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 went by and the storyline was still in the before Cake goes to America. So I was very confused as to why they were taking so long introducing the actual plot. But now if you check the plot of the show on YouTube, it does just mention that it's a friends to lovers story, which okay, maybe I was the problem because I was basing off what I thought the show was going to be on an unofficial source. Even though it does say the source was IKI, but still. But as I was watching, I just got more confused over the pacing on this show. Like up until episode 10 they're in high school. They don't confess or have any advances as far as romance goes, which it's fine. And then he comes back from America 3 years later and they get together on episode 12. Okay, it took a while but they were kids. Now they're more grown up. It's okay. All is good now. We can see how they go from friends to lover, and OC mom is dying on the second to last episode. As you can guess, the last episode had more plot than the entire show up until episode 12, and I wish I was exaggerating. Everything that happened up until episode 10 was pretty much useless to the story, or at least made no sense once you watch the last 3 episodes where everything and more happens. Like in the last 2 episodes after they get together, Sia's mom finds out she has stage 4 lung cancer from second-hand smoking from their dad. Don't get me started on that, I will discuss it later. Then there's a lot of crying and emotional scenes. Then episode 13, the mom dies. There's a funeral. Sia hates his dad for smoking. Then they confront his dad. Everything is okay. Time skip. They're happy and it ends. What? I just want to know, why did they make this show have the weirdest pacing? It seems like they were writing the script for a show that would have 2 seasons, and then on episode 9 someone told them, nope, it's gonna be 14 episodes only. And they had to make the entire plot work on 2 episodes. Like the entire part where Sia gets a friend that manipulates him to steal his money. What was that even for? Other issues I had with this show were the I'm only gay for you thing. No. Just no. The whole scene was pretty good though, just cut that line out. The weird side relationships. And by weird I mean low-key disturbing. So the side couple consists of Sia's sister that is a university student and Cake's friend that is in an early grade of high school. So yes, a minor and an adult. And worst part is they acknowledge that it is not right in the show. I don't think they do get together then, but to be honest I just had to skip their scenes because it made me severely uncomfortable. Anyways, doesn't matter because later on, once Cake's friend is 18, things hit off again and they probably get together in the end. Again, I watched none of those scenes. I'm sorry, but I just can't bring myself to ship a minor and an adult no matter what. Even if the show made us wait until he was legal. It just is weird. Also the part where he goes and asks to talk to her in private. When they're in the hospital room where her mom is literally dying. Are you for real? Dude, pick some better timing, I beg. Your love life can wait. She's on her last moments with her mother. But anyways, that couple was unnecessary, and once I started skipping it made zero difference on the main plot. I just ignored it. But then, in the last fucking episode, on one of the last scenes, they throw in mid-conversation that Sia's older brother that was in his 20s and after the time skips was like 27, is dating Cake's younger sister that was like 13 when the show started but after all the time skips is now 18. What the fuck? Why? That couple has no relevancy. Why would they put in another weird adult and minor thing? They already had made a pass with the other 2 where the age gap wasn't even as big, but this one is just no. Should have kept that one in the drafts. Especially because keeping it in the drafts would have done no difference in the show besides removing like 2 seconds of runtime in the last episode. And last but not least, the horrible doctor. The mother had stage 4 cancer and the doctor says, and I'm not even joking, that the cancer is due to second-hand smoking from their father. Literally quote unquote. I know they wanted to make this side of the story heavier and maybe add some angst related to the dad, but this scene is so ridiculous it just made me laugh. I know I sounds like I hated this show, but I genuinely didn't. I did not read the novel, so I could be entirely wrong here, but the story does seem pretty good. The same person that wrote this also wrote the story that originated Bad Buddy. I know they had entirely different studios working on both, but it still proves a point that you can make an excellent show out of her work nonetheless. Plus both shows have a very simple core story too. To end on a good note though, the acting was phenomenal. This was the first time I saw Santa's acting and he was incredible. Honestly, give this kid another show and I will be watching for sure. Earth was great too. I know some people were complaining over how much he cried and whined, and I do agree in part, but I'm always wishing to see some diversity in the characters, and not always the tough, emotionally closed-off masculine gay guy. So it would be hypocritical of me to complain now. The shots and sceneries were amazing. My only issues really only rely with the pacing and the weird details that were thrown in that are totally unnecessary, but managed to really throw the viewer off. So much so that I feel like all my criticism could easily be fixed by just editing the show. Also, please note all of the things I pointed out only make up 1/4 of the show. The rest of it is really good and I still highly recommend you watch it. I do really want to see more of all these people in the future nonetheless, and I really hope Studio Wabi Sabi gives these actors more projects soon.